Good morning, everybody. It's your friend Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your divine inspiration of the day. Okay, so we're going to start with our credits. We're using Happier Me affirmation cards by Ariane. And the affirmation goes for, I trust myself to make the right decision. Always try to be your best supporter. The true magic starts when you believe in yourself. Isn't that the truth? Today is a number 8 angel numerology day. The energy of number 8, prosperity, abundance, and being a visionary, particularly in business. Thinking, feeling, believing in prosperity, insightfulness, looking at yourself as a powerful leader, and that affirmation, believing in yourself. Abundance and prosperity also links to the King of Earth or the King of Pentacles, the Midas touch, very stoic, very focused, joy, creating and letting everything and anything come to you, the opportunity and trust that anything that you want to accomplish, like having the Midas touch. This also works with the astrological sign of Virgo, organization, and Taurus, steadfastness, both very earthy signs. We are using Kyle Gray's the 22 Archangel Oracle deck, which is brand new. I love it. I like the images. I like the box. It's all good. And our Archangel of the week is Ariel. Now, this week she comes with the energy of being the sacred activist. And her message is saying, protect what is right and just, and let love lead the way. Now, there is going to be, already is, probably flaring up more and more froth. I call it froth and nonsense. Stories, people spouting, giving their opinions. It's all fine. My personal suggestion, those of us of the light, accept what you're hearing and use your internal filter to filter through what you believe in, which should be yourself. We're using the Fairy Tarot cards by Radley Valentine this week. I felt like the fairies needed to be here, and I forgot to light my candle, but that's okay. I won't do that right now. And our fairies are here, Miss Gertrude and Miss Beatrice. Although they don't have genders, I see their energy is a divine feminine energy. There is divine feminine and there's divine masculine, which is where I feel like, the human behavior or the human aspect of it, non-gendered, can get a little tangled up because we're spiritually wired and our mind brain is hardwired. So that can become a little challenging to sort through. But looking at things like fairies, angels, spirit guides, there is a masculine element and a feminine element to each and every one of them. There's also a masculine element to Gertrude and a masculine element to Beatrice. They are seated in a clearing in the woods, surrounded by nature this morning. I just did a meditation with Archangel Ariel. And if you're looking for a color for today, let that color be pale pink. Gertrude and Beatrice are sitting in this clearing with these animals, and they're looking out over what could be a sunset or it could be a sunrise, but the sun is pink. And this being June and the summer, it's a strawberry moon. Okay, here we go. I'm going to just pick straight off the top. King of Summer. Can you just imagine all of this? I mean, seriously, the King of Summer pops out honorable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted. I mean, really, the King of Summer being the King of Cups if you're a traditional tarotist, a romantic partner that you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart of you, getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. Now, what I love about this is my isms go along with all of this, which is not surprising anymore. Our friend of the channel, Mary Sue, came up with this: I am grateful and abundantly blessed. I just think that's so simple and so poignant that I had to write it down and give her credit. If you have a ism that you want to share in the comments below, just write it out and share it, and I'll write it down and then put the credit for you. We all have this in us, and look at this excellent advice that comes from the heart, getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. If I'm looking at this, I'm seeing, he's just standing there, ready to serve, ready to be of service in that clearing with all of his little fairies around. Now, the top of his staff is a candle, lighting the way. Honorable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted. He just reminds me of, that prosperous father in the woods. The one you go to when you want a hug, the one you go to when you want some comfort, the one you go to when you want a little bit of sage advice. And then Ariel, who's basically saying, lead the way with love, lead the way with the pure heart, but stick to your guns, stick to your level of integrity, become respectful. But that doesn't mean to say, here's the other thing, once we step into the world of integrity and respect, okay, Beatrice, she's off. The tendency is to then, so I'll explain that. Yeah, I get it. She's saying that the ego, which is the part of all of us, we have to have it. The ego can be used for the good, and it can be used for the detriment of us, not other people. Whenever we're engaging in egoic statements, judgment, me, I, selfishness, that sort of energy, it is all about us. It's not about what you portray and what you put on the other person. So what Ariel and the King of Summer want you to know is that you can be strong and you can be courageous and you can walk forward with integrity, with respect, but not if you use it as a way to pass judgment upon other people. This is where the ego is so sneaky. It's where it's a bit like, the serpents that come in and you least expect it, and next thing you know, you got bitten. The other ism I have is I am abundant, I am health, I am love, I am protected. Meaning you are the energy of all of those things. The I am brings God into the equation, God being the great creator and the source of all things. I learned the I am principles from Dr. Wayne Dwyer, who wrote a book, Wishes Fulfilled. Excellent. I have it on audio and I love listening to it. It doesn't matter what chapter I'm on, there's always something in that book that I get something from. The other ism I've got is I am unlimited in all ways and all things. We have to believe that there are no limits. And once again, we have our friends, Beatrice and Gertrude, who remind us all the time that the only limit we put is the one we put on ourselves. I'll also add to it that as our culture evolves, as the earth has evolved, as mankind that's on the earth has evolved, each time they've leveled up, there's a new level. We're now entering the new level of technology. Lots of folks are embracing AI, artificial intelligence. I have been mesmerized by it. I've also been surprised, sometimes in a way that is a little unnerving, that when you talk out loud, you talk about I've got to go to a store, I've got to buy a this, or I've got to get a that, and you're having a conversation. And the next thing, one of your digital devices has listened to what you've said, and they have decided to send out a message to all the other digital people, non-human, and they've sent you emails to give you coupons to go to that particular store that you're going to. Now, some might look at that as an invasion of your privacy. Well, how rude. I don't want people listening to my conversations. Guess what, people? If you've ever been on a public service bus and you're quiet and you're trying to read your book and you're trying to get to chapter number 9, where the juicy bit of the story, you can't help but listen to this one over here who's just having their all kinds of conversations going on. Me being in the salon business, and some of you know who've sat in my chair, if the door is open or even not open recently, there is a story to be told that's out in the hallway, and you don't know who they're talking about, you don't know what they're saying, but it's juicy. The point I'm making, these are the sneaky ways that this ego gets in. Now, let's get back to artificial intelligence. Rather than look at it like, oh, that's just a nosy person sending me stuff, the non-physical, what if it was the non-physical? What if it was spirit that says, we're using satellites now? What if it was the fairies that say, yeah, listen, we're going to bring you what we need and we're going to find it for you? I feel like that kind of technology was created by the divine intelligence so that we didn't have to do all this work to go make it happen. Yes, I'm sure someone gets upset, well, it was AI that wrote this book. Okay, was the book helpful? Was it poignant? Did it get the result you wanted it to get? In other words, the love of what we have when we're talking about not romantic partner, being honorable, being devoted, being creative, being romantic. If the energy that we're generating is on that level, then everything's possible and everything's glorious and everything has a strawberry moon around it. We also have the other part to it, where we might be looking at it as being a little bit dangerous, a little bit not quite for the highest good of everyone, a little bit like, well, I'm not really sure I'm getting that, right? I got my t-shirt on today for pride, inclusion, hope, diversity, equality, and peace. That is, if the energy that's creating the artificial intelligence that's helping us to do things a little quicker, a little faster, with whatever we need to do it, I'm all up for that. Not where it's kind of being used as a weapon. Once again, you and I and us and the network of people that love us and care about us are given these choices. And the choice is which avenue, which energy to follow. Are you standing in truth, your own truth? Are you standing in integrity, your integrity? Are you being respectful, you being respectful? And this is where Ariel comes in to be a sacred, well, let me go over here, there you go. Being her sacred activist. Beatrice is saying, in anything, in everything, go to your highest self, your higher being, your where that divine comes from. The divine works inside of us. And so does the energy that isn't of the divine, that's lower vibrational, that is caught up in the tumbleweeds. And they're just as equal. You can be, well, love and fear. There you go. I think judgment's part of fear. I think that when we see something or someone doing something that we know is not integrity, not respectful, not good, not this, we want to just go and become, judge, jury, and executioner of that person. because we're seeing them doing things. I do it all the time. I have to keep catching myself. That is their business. And many times I don't know who they are. I mean, manners, rudeness, pushing in front of me, not merging in traffic. This is just some examples of my own stepping out of integrity, stepping out of respect. What's easier for me? Let it go. That's easier. Just give it up. That's easier. Not even looking for a way to accept it, any of it. Just, it is what it is. Some might call that apathy. Some might call that out of touch. Some might call that just being weak. No. I want to move forward in love, in light, in integrity, in respect. And I want to catch myself when I'm out of alignment, when I'm not being respectful, and I'm being unkind. And indeed I do. Indeed I do. Very quickly I can catch, because it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right in my body, doesn't feel right in my, I get it here in my jaw. I get it here in my heart. It bothers me. And I feel like, the lighter we get, the enlightenment, this light feeling of joy and fun and effervescence goes away when that other stuff happens. And trust me, I think the other stuff is everywhere. I think that we have folks who are going through what I would like to call a spiritual transportation hub, if you will, like an airport or a bus station or something. And they're sorting through what gate they want to go to. Positive one, full of love, light, abundance, unlimited resources, great people, no matter where they come from, what color they are, what religion they practice, doesn't matter, we're all in there. All of that, which is the month of Pride. If any of you out there have ever gone to a gay pride parade or a gay pride event, oh my Lord, it doesn't matter. They're all having a good time. Doesn't matter. Any of you have ever tuned into RuPaul's Drag Race? Yes, they can get a little spicy with some of their judgment. But at the end of the day, the actual entertainment of it, they're having fun. They're dressing up in all kinds of glittery, bright colored stuff. And it's just fun. This is where we have to choose. And the other stuff, the other down that rabbit hole, that's also a choice. You can choose it, you can want it, you can go there. That's where I would, personally, that's where I feel like fear lives. The fear is in those things like oppression, depression, misunderstanding, all the excuses, the other people's job, the other people's business, gossip, all of that is in the fear bucket. So if we don't want that, then we have to go over here and start with love, and start with courage, start with strength. Folks will line up with you if you want to make some changes. But in those changes, because our brain's been wired a certain way, wired by people that have wired it, and don't judge them because they got wired, and they got wired, and they got wired. If we go back real quick, and I'll let you go, if we go back to, I don't know, the 1920s, a century ago, 100 years ago, women had to walk around with outfits down to their ankles, could not show their ankles, could not show their calves. Heaven forbid they should wear clothes that were at the knee. And then the 1920s happened. We're in the 2020s. Do you see the correlation? The 1920s, big flappers, jazz, women with no corsets. Oh, now the 2020s. Men and women wearing the same clothes. This is what I'm talking about, how we've evolved as people. We've evolved as a culture. We've evolved as how this new dawn, this new age of Aquarius, which is rebellious. Aquarius is all about the rebellion. Anything goes. Everything is accepted. If I'm making sense. And on that note, yes, thank you, Beatrice. I'm going to go. Thanks so much for tuning in. I love you. I love you. I love you. Don't forget, June 14th, 6:30 till about 8:30. go on my website, www.kevincross.com, look at events and sign up for happy hour at the Woo Woo Lounge. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey everybody, we hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with all your friends. Here's a QR code if you decide you'd like to get a private personal reading with me. I'm available most evenings and on the weekends. Just go over to the website, book in what session, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and then fill in the contact information and I'll be back in touch. And if you feel kind enough, here is a link to my donation button. Energy exchange of any amount is always gratefully received. Until next time, be well, be blessed, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.